making the trip down here this morning as we get set to tip off the first game of the 2025 season for the Wildcats. Tip is won by Clancy. Clancy has missed the entire season up until their last game against Virginia Union with an injury. He's a lethal three-point shooter, shoots over 40% last season, and took the majority of his shots from beyond the arc. A nice steal there by the Wildcats. Waller with the ball. Perkins trapped outside. Staten Island will play primarily man-to-man defense, but they will sneak into a zone once in a while. And Lisa, I was at practice yesterday, and they actually put a play into the playbook against the zone, so they all know what it is. And as soon as they go to a zone, that's the play that they will run. Ball out of bounds. That's Waller who will inbounds. Nice look underneath and falls off the front of the rim. And coming down with it is Goldstein. Goldstein coming off a team-high point production total against Virginia Union. 7 of 14 from 3 points, at 23 points in that loss.
Great ball movement by Staten Island.
Nice lob inside. That foul's going to be on Bowers, who's getting a start today for a situational matchup situation. Talked to head coach or assistant coach Andrew Feely before the game. And so Mallory will head to the free throw line. 6'7" senior. East Coast Conference Defensive Player of the Week earlier this season, a 75% free throw shooter.
Yeah, I think he's a key to their team and a key to them being successful today.
The foul was on Bowers, first of the game for either team. Mallory makes the first and the second. Looks like there's going to be a pressure situation here.
Little 2-2-1 full court. This is just be patient about it. Get it to a side and look opposite.
Get it into Perez. Perkins fires from three. Short. And coming down with it is Goldstein, his second rebound of the night. Gets all the way to the basket. Nice dish underneath to Mallory, who slams it home.
Definitely nice look.
Perez on the other end forces it up. No good. Gets batted around.
Not the start, Wilm, you wanted, that's for sure.
Goldstein drives, dishes. Mallory looked like he got hit on the arm, but no call.
I think Hawkins got away with one. That's going to be a huge matchup. That might determine the game, that matchup between Mallory and Hawkins.
Frantic pace so far here. Drive and a dish. Perez with the three, and it's good. Rattles in and through. And I was here with my boys watching practice, Lisa, and he nailed 8 threes in a row in some drill that they were doing. And so he's been hot, at least at practice.
He's definitely a shooter. Waller made that happen, driving the gap and kicking it.
Mallory, was it a 3 or a 2? One ref looked like he was putting the 3 up.
I thought they gave him 3. I saw him put his hands up.
Only 7 points on the scoreboard. So I think they might have, maybe, yeah, it would be a 3 because the other one was his dunk and 2 free throws. Clancy just back for the second game of the season, misses a 3. That would be good news for Wilmington. Perez drives in and gets fouled, and he will head to the free throw line.
Nice pass ahead by Perkins.
That foul is going to be on Joey Poulin, the 6'3" freshman out of Troy, New York. And that will send Perez to the free throw line, where he is an 87% free throw shooter, averaging 12.8 points a game, 17th in the conference. Wilmington is 1-1 in conference play.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Staten Island has all their hands up on the foul line. They're not allowed to wave them. You can't distract the shooter,
right.
But you teach that in like elementary, high school. I've never seen it. They didn't do it that time, but I'd never seen it before.
Second shot is good.
And a little, I think somebody forgot. I thought they were trying to set up a 2-2-1 full court, but
Zone defense for Wilmington. Shot is missed. Coming down with the rebound is Bowers.
He got that over the rim. That's a good rebound. He didn't wait for it to come to him. He went up and got it.
Nice look underneath the Mallory. Pump fake. Got the man in the air and scores. So two good things, the bucket and a foul on Chris Clancy.
Yeah, that was a great setup by Perkins. He's just a true point guard. He thinks like a point guard. Get his other teams involved, more involved, and he makes others around him better.
Mitchell Wiggin is going to check in along with Justin Ziris. Poulin will have a seat along with Clancy.
We've seen a lot of Hawkins now. He's been under the radar a little, but wow, this kid can really play. Like, he has great touch around the rim.
Hawkins with 3 of the 8 points. Perez with the other 5 for the Wildcats. Mallory looking for the pick, goes around it. Nice up and underneath, and not a whole lot you can do that on defense.
Yeah, I said when we were just talking, Mallory, he's tough. He's tough.
And I like how Hawkins didn't pick up a foul, because you foul, you're going to the free throw line anyway.
And you're going to be out of the game,
Yep.
and they need him in the game.
And that's going to be a block, and
that's a good call.
That is a good call, because Hawkins was up in the air, and
Again,
he slid underneath him.
Perkins, bounce pass leads him to the basket.
And so Wildcats take their first lead. And Hawkins will try to convert his 6th point of the night. And gets it.
And he's off to a great start. And again, I said before, battle the big men.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Not impressed. I shouldn't say impressed or surprised. That I was a little leery how Wilmington would look early on, having not played since December 20th, especially against a team that played less than 48 hours ago.
I was thinking about that too, yes. And it is a concern.
Yeah.
And that might be a little slow. They got off to a little slow start. But that's good defense there.
And Hawkins with another rebound, his 2nd of the night. Of course, the Division II has a mandatory time off as Perez gets it underneath. He's going to kick it back out to Hawkins.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Perez go up strong with that.
But the first practice back for Wilmington was December 30th, and that's a 3.
Again, Perkins to Hawkins, who kicked it out, but it went inside the paint first for the wide-open, uncontested 3.
And with that, Asa Kone gets up off the bench for College of Staten Island. Get a little bit of height inside the 6'8 junior. He'll check in. And that's going to be Goldstein, who misses a 3, and that would be good for Wilmington if he can stay cold from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Waller did that little subtle dig to make Mallory pick up the dribble. That's what helped him there.
Hawkins ticked the rim in the front there, but no good. Goldstein with his 3rd rebound. Saw a lot of that in the game we scouted against Virginia Union, where Mallory pulls up at the elbow.
Yeah, I saw a lot of 3s, and I don't see that today.
And that's going to be a foul on Hawkins. And Mallory's going to head to the free throw line. They've struggled from 3, College of Staten Island, that is shooting under 30%. And part of that is because Clancy has not played until that Virginia Union game where he was 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. So he certainly didn't help their percentage, but he is their 3-point ace. Last year, he took a total of, where do I have it written down, 201 shots, 146 of them were from 3. As Mallory misses the free throw. Checking in is going to be Sean Hargrave, 6'8 red shirt sophomore from Buffalo. And Jihad Simpson has checked in for Hawkins.
We've only seen 4 3s, and I think they took 4 3s in the first minute.
Jalen Horsey has also checked in, the 6'4 hot shooting freshman from William Penn High School.
Jalen Horsey can play.
He's shooting 46% from beyond the arc. Mallory makes the 2nd. And checking in, as I mentioned before, is Ase Kone. And so he's coming in for Messiah Mallory. So you could argue the 2 best players for both teams are now on the bench with Mallory.
And I wonder if that was planned.
Yeah.
Like, the coach pulled one and
Yep.
the opposing coach took the other one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great matchup all afternoon.
Of course, we're talking about Hawkins against Mallory. Perkins for three, and that's good.
That's a good shot, just because, again, it went inside out. They swung the ball around to the other side, and it's open, and that's a good shot.
So if there was
the shot the point guard should take.
If there was any question whether the Wildcats were going to come out ready to play after the long layoff, that has been answered, at least in the first 6 minutes. Steal by Perkins, and that is a beautiful block there by Kone.
Yeah,
Perkins.
He tried to bring it to the other side to protect it, but he should have went up on the left side.
Shamar Laddie, who just checked in, fires it over to J.J. Chestnut, who nails his first shot, and that's a three. And a 30-second timeout is going to be taken by the College of Staten Island.
So when you wonder when things don't matter, that hustle on the last play, blocking the shot, the layup, and took two away, and then they hit an open three off the break. That's hustle for Staten Island, gave him 5 points.
Want to congratulate Randy Rickers, former Wilmington University men's basketball player. He was just promoted to the Division I level in Chile, where he is playing professional basketball. He joins Jermaine Head, who's playing in the country of Georgia, Talib Holloman in Argentina, and Caleb Matthews on the island of Malta. Got this news from Coach Andrew Feely, who himself spent, it was either the first 10 or 12 years of his career playing overseas, so he's no stranger to playing overseas.
He played all over.
Yeah, I remember him telling us.
Yes.
I think he played in every continent at one point, or so it seemed.
Yeah, he had a great professional career, long one.
13:52 to play here in the first half of the first game of 2025. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC Network. We'll have the women on Monday night. We're assuming, of course, a big snowstorm coming in. Penn State Brandywine will be coming down for a couple of hours, so we'll see whether we have that game or not, but excited that they got this one in before the storm heads in here tomorrow night. Perez, excuse me.
Yeah, I thought he had to kick a horsey there. You can't argue a layup attempt, though.
Two refs are going to get together, and they're going to change the call. And Coach Burke hasn't flinched about arguing it, so I think he knows they got the right call. Perez kind of tripped himself up going in and almost got the call. Laddie pulls up for his first shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. Wilmington working it around. They've got two sharpshooters in there with Perez and Horsey.
I love seeing them play together. It really spreads the court for a player like Perkins that can get in and set up the bigs.
Perkins fires from three, no good. Looking for the foul. The way he fell, you typically do not get the foul at this college level.
He tried to sell it.
Yep. Nothing but the bottom of the net. That's Sean Hargrove, redshirt sophomore. He's only played in 8 games and averaging just 5.4 minutes, so he's already above his season average for points. And all of a sudden the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Yeah, that timeout definitely helped them. Wilmington just has to get back into the rhythm. Everybody should touch the ball.
And that's going to be a foul on Shamar Lati, so that will be the 4th against the Dolphins.
Yeah, Perkins just wouldn't let him take the ball from him.
Dorian Johnson is going to check in. He's going to come in for going to be Perez, who ends up coming out. Waller thought he was the one coming out. So an interesting move there. You take one of your sharpshooters out. And Horsey does a nice job there of not coming down with that ball. Otherwise, it would have been traveling. Johnson pulls up, and that's no good. And Hargrave comes down with the rebound into the hands of Justin Ziris.
I just want to see Johnson be aggressive, like get on the glass.
And we got a double foul here. I think they're going to get Asay Kone and maybe Jihad Simpson. Yes. It's a double foul.
A little physical in there.
Yep. Trey Hawkins checks back in along with Amari Bowers. Simpson will have a seat along with Waller. Chris Clancy also back in, and that's going to be a foul on Horsey. Yeah,
silly foul.
That's a freshman foul that they'll go over with game film.
That's that high school stuff that you get beat.
Yep.
You try to reach around them.
Yep.
Like you have somebody there to help you.
Horsey's had some foul trouble early in this season. Has gotten better, as you would expect.
And he has to stay on the court for them to be successful. That's why you don't want to see those silly fouls.
Ziris for three, nothing but the bottom of the net on the other side, and Coach Dan Burke is going to take a timeout.
I thought that was coming.
And waiting to see whether it's a full or a 30. It's going to be just a 30, so we'll keep it here. Just some quick stats. Trey Hawkins with 6 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 5 for Justin Perez, 3 apiece for Amari Bowers and Tenem Perkis. On the other side, Messiah Mallory, as you would expect, the leading scorer with 10 points. He comes in averaging 12.1, so just 2 points away from his season average. 3 points for Sean Hargrave, J.J. Chestnut, and Justin Ziris, and 2 for Shamar Lati. On the rebounding side of things, Aaron Goldstein leading the Dolphins with 4 rebounds, 2 rebounds for Denon and Perkins, 1 apiece for Trey Hawkins, Amari Bowers, and Munir Waller. So it was 17-13 at the 3:52 mark when the College of Staten Island took a timeout, and since then it has been all the College of Staten Island. In fact, Wilmington has not even scored, and instead Staten Island has run off on an 8-0 run here, so a good timeout there by Coach Dan Burke.
Staten Island's playing a different game than what we saw against Virginia Union. It was a lot of outside shooting, a lot of three-point shooting. Here they're getting a lot of touches in the paint. And again, Mallory has 10 points, and he only averages 12, so they must have seen something on tape.
Wilmington sprints up, and Horsey fires from 3 and nails it. So Jalen Horsey with his first three-pointer of 2025.
If a team pressed me, that's what I would do. Get into the hands of my point guard, let him bring it up, and look for my shooters filling the lanes. It's wide open threes.
Wilmington pulls within 1 here. Pressure defense. And a nice block there by Horsey. He'll head the other way. They work it around. And three-pointer for Dorian Johnson, the 6'4 sophomore from North Carolina, gives Wilmington the lead.
I think Coach Burke is waiting for Johnson just to get a feel for the chemistry and the expectations of this team, because he's definitely an athlete, could definitely deliver.
Great look underneath.
See, he left the inside man too soon.
Ziris to Kone for the quick 2.
Hawkins was a helper, so you have to help the helper, and Johnson left him a little too soon before Hawkins could fully recover. But when he picks that up, he definitely can contribute to this team.
And driving underneath, that was Hawkins, and he was fouled by Kone. Mallory's going to check back in, as is Goldstein and Poulin. Kone will take the seat with his second foul, and Hargrave and Chestnut will also head to the bench as we approach the halfway mark here. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC Network. First game in 2025 for Wilmington, second for the College of Staten Island. Horsey fires from 3 in the corner. That's short, and Clancy, the sharpshooter for the Dolphins, comes down with the rebound, and Goldstein heads the other way, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Joey Poulin, and that's going to be his second foul. So he's got 2, Laddie's got 2, and Kone's got 2. And it's an offensive foul, so it is not a foul shooting situation. But for the rest of this half, 10 minutes and 9 seconds, Wilmington will head to the free throw line on any foul that is not an offensive player control foul.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Get things going to the basket.
Hawkins out a little bit further than he likes to be, guarded there by Mallory. And that was just a miscommunication there between Hawkins and Bowers as to what they were planning to do. Perez is going to check back in for Perkins, and this is something else they practiced yesterday, Lisa, was what the offense was going to look like when Justin Perez was the point guard, which he most likely will be at this point on the offensive side of things.
And we were told before he was a point guard in high school.
Well,
something, blood on the uniform or something.
So with the blood on the uniform, they get a chance to fix it.
I think they give them like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it can't take long.
Well, that was quick.
And so.
Yeah, Staten Island coach, he
wants them to go. Right.
I understand it.
So Perkins is still on the field, or the floor.
Yeah, he was able to come back in for Perez. And you were saying Perez is going to be the point guard. He was a point guard in high school. That's what we were told. So
right.
It's, he's obviously more capable. Yeah.
Goldstein trying to get by Perkins. Perkins, of course, a Dover High School product. Won a state championship last year. Mallory's turnaround jumper, no good. Batted around, and Johnson comes down.
That's where I want to see Johnson help. Really get on the glass and help rebound. Like he's a bigger, more athletic guard that can help him out on the glass.
Nice look. Whip it over to Horsey. He's wide open and missed shot. So Horsey's taken 3 shots, 3 that he's got to take. That's why he's in the game. Made the first one and has missed the next 2.
He'll make them.
Shooter's got to keep shooting.
And he is a pure shooter.
Goldstein works his way around the pick, throws it up and in off the backboard. I thought he was maybe going to try to lob it to Mallory, but instead took the shot. Nice look ahead there by Perkins. Good job by Bowers coming down with it. Ends up in the hands of Hawkins. Not going to be a foul situation, but rather out of bounds. Wilmington ball. And Justin Perez checks back in for Perkins. So
Perkins' court vision is just crazy. It's just crazy. Always head up, always looking, anticipating where his teammates are going to be.
Imagine if he was 6'7" instead of 5'7". I mean, he's excellent at 5'7".
He wouldn't be playing here.
And that's a 5-second violation. Not sure if there wasn't a play called, and that also might be a situation.
That new inbounds.
Well, and it might be with Dorian Johnson, who hasn't had a whole lot of time on the floor.
But it's better if
you're.
Don't turn it over. If it's going to be a turnover, that's the turnover you want.
Right. Doesn't end up in a dunk.
Forcing it in, ending up in a dunk.
Goldstein fires from 2. No, they're going to give him a 3. So Goldstein, who's coming off a 7 3-point performance against Virginia Union, nails his first 3 here at the complex. Nice look by Perez underneath the Bowers. Misses the left-handed layup, misses the follow-up, but Hawkins pulls it down.
Oh, man, rebound in traffic.
Hawkins' 8th point of the night, now 3 of 4 from the field. A near turnover there by Staten Island, but they recover it. Mallory walks with the ball. Too quick of a step. He knew it. Referee saw it. Checking in is going to be Monier Waller. He's going to come in for Dorian Johnson. Dorian Johnson averaging just 3 minutes a game leading into this, so he's already doubled that.
Yeah, this is a chance for him to earn some time.
Goldstein covering
The only
Perez.
thing you don't like about Perez being the point guard, it takes away from his shooting.
Right.
Because he has to focus on getting his teammates involved.
Horsey may have gotten away with a quick walk. Forces it inside, unable to make it. It's going to pick up the free throws. And we'll see who that's going to be on.
Yeah, Horsey is a scorer. Not just a shooter, he's a scorer.
Fouls on Justin Zier's his first, team's 8th, and so Horsey, an 89% free throw shooter, leads the team in that category. He's going to head to the foul line to shoot 2, the William Penn High product. Second in the CACC, averaging 2.3 made threes a game. Shamar Lottie's going to check back in. Clancy's going to have a seat. Haven't seen Chris Clancy get open, and that might be a credit to the Wilmington University defense because they certainly do.
Scouting report.
He's the shooter.
Yeah.
Clancy might also still be trying to get back into game shape because, you hear people say it all the time. You can ride that exercise bike all you want. And in and out, no good, but there's Mallory with the offensive rebound and the putback. Somebody's got to find and put a body on him.
Anybody, but definitely somebody.
Bowers forces it. Mowers blocks it away, and Shamar Lottie comes down with a rebound. Goldstein pulls up from NBA range, misses, and Waller hauls it in the corner right in front of us. Nice hustle there by Poulin, and we were talking before the game. Poulin doesn't average a lot, only 1.1 point per game in 13 minutes a game, but he does stuff like that.
Just hounding the ball. And that's just effort. That's all it is. Anybody can do that, right? But not everybody does it is the problem.
And what we saw him do several times against Virginia Union was exactly that, and it ended off going off the other team. And so he created a turnover in that. Mitchell Wiggin, the 6'4" redshirt freshman from Brooklyn, checks in for the Dolphins at the 7-minute mark of the first half. Horsey fires his 4th three, misses his 3rd one. So 1 of 4 since hitting the first, but that's an open shot he's got to take.
All good shots. He'll be 50% by the end of the game.
Nice drive and a dish, but an even better defensive there by Hawkins. But Goldstein ends up with it in the corner. He misses, battling inside. And that's another rebound for Mallory. He kicks it out, nothing but the bottom of the net for Joey Poulin, who was 1 of 16 on the season from beyond the arc until he hit that. Mallory looked like he might have twisted his ankle. And so a nice move inside by Bowers. Mallory twisted his ankle. Looks like he's going to be able to jog it off. Step back jumper for 3 by Goldstein. Nothing but the bottom of the net. So started out cold from beyond the arc, and that has changed with that 3-pointer. Perez gets it over to Horsey. He's unable to get it. Gets stripped away from behind by Goldstein. A battle underneath, and that's going to be Wilmington ball. Perkins is going to check back in, as is Justin Zieris for the College of Staten Island.
Yeah, Wilmington just has to slow down a minute. Just slow down.
Yep.
Take another second, and, Perkins is back in. I imagine they'll do that.
Perkins came in for Horsey. 5:45 to play here in the first half. We're going to talk to Coach Dan Burke before he heads into the locker room. Something new we're going to try, get his perspective on what he thinks about the first half. And, of course, he always joins us after the game for what will be a longer interview. We won't keep him very long heading into the locker room, but looking forward to getting his thoughts. Mallory fires from 3. That's off the back of the rim, and a battle underneath, and that was Wiggin keeping it alive, but then it ends up going out of bounds. Off the Dolphins will be Wilmington ball. Little inbounds right in front of us.
That's good hustle.
It was, yep.
Yeah, just couldn't control it.
But Mallory is all over the place, even when he doesn't get credit for the rebounds. StatCast has him for just 2 rebounds, but he's tipped at least 3 or 4 balls that have ended up being rebounds for the Dolphins. Perez hasn't seen an open shot since his second one. That's a great look underneath by Hawkins.
Great look. You got to finish there.
Waller unable to finish.
Second layup, right? You missed.
Either got to get fouled or make it.
Yep.
Hawkins an NBA 3. Excuse me, that was Mallory an NBA 3. Hawkins on the coverage. And that ball gets tipped away. A little careless there by Waller. Wiggin goes up, and that's going to be a charge. Nice job there by Justin Perez getting himself set well before Mitchell Wiggin went up.
Yeah, he took it too. Huh?
So a player control foul, 9th one for the Dolphins, but no free throws. Mallory's going to head out. And checking in is Asa Kone. And Wilmington trails by 7 here with just under 5 to play. And, Lisa, we always talk about these final 5 minutes can go one way or the other.
Yeah, Mallory's heading down to the trainer, so you really want to make some damage right now.
Head coach heading down there with him, it looks like. No, it's a different coach. T.J. Mitchell's over there. And the jumper is an air ball. Nice look underneath. It should go off Staten Island, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, 6 seconds. I have to make sure they get a good shot here.
Perkins to inbounds. Hawkins gets it over Kone. Back to Perkins. They worked on a roll. Fall away jumper by Perkins. No good.
He had to put it up.
Beat the shot clock. Hawkins got it. And nearly a nice dish underneath. I think it was an additional dish.
Yeah, Hawkins.
Intentional, I should say.
Yeah, Hawkins found Bowers. And good patience. Went to one side of the rim to try to protect it. Defender came with him, so he came back and got fouled. Good patience in there.
So the 10th foul was a shooting foul either way. Bowers will head to the free throw line. A 72% free throw shooter. Wilmington shoots 70.2% from the line. Every coach would like it to be a little bit higher, but when you look at other teams' shooting percentages, It's about normal, we've learned over the years. Staten Island shoots 72 from the free throw line. Mallory checks back in for Kone, so whatever. Looks like did he get his wrist wrapped up?
Yeah, I think he
I was
going to
say, I don't remember seeing his wrist wrapped up. We did see him turn his ankle.
I think there was a little blood. I saw him wipe it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We saw him turn his ankle. He seems to have recovered from that, at least for the time being. And Bauer, second, misses, but it's going to be a lane violation anyway. Not sure if that was on Bowers or
it was.
Yeah,
it was on Bowers.
And making his first appearance is going to be Isaiah Cradle, the 6'3 senior. Played at Smyrna High, also played at Chesapeake Community College and Holy Family. And
Cradle's physical and aggressive.
And he's going to pick up his first foul as Shamar Lottie went around him, and Cradle chose to bump him. Not a bad one, only the fifth foul, so it's not a shooting foul.
And there was no help defender down there, so better to take that foul there than give up a layup. And he's going to be physical. That's part of his game.
Ziris will inbound, trying to get Goldstein open. He does, but he gets it to Mallory. Works off a pick and roll. Working around Ziris for three.
That's good ball movement by Staten Island.
Batted around, and coming away with it was Waller. Nice drive and scoring
and
with the left.
Made that layup.
Waller on the scoreboard with his first 2 points of the night.
Finished with his inside hand.
36-32. Laddie with the jumper, in and out, no good, but there is Mallory again, but a nice job there by Waller to come away with it, and that's where they just need to grab the ball and hold up.
Yeah, he ran into Perez. He trying to get it off the dribble instead of just pick up a loose ball. Don't dribble a loose ball, pick it up. That's how you ensure you have possession of it, pick it up.
Goldstein covered there by Cradle. He pulls up, and that's going to rattle around, and coming down with it again is Waller. So Waller's touched the ball on the defensive end the last 3 or 4 trips down. Lob inside for Hawkins. A great look by Perkins.
Like a little touch pass. He really understands basketball, and he leads you into the shot. And so the pass made him Hawkins go to the basket.
And that is going to cause T.J. Tibbs to take a 30-second timeout as the Wildcats have pulled to within 2 here at the 2:54 mark. And so, Lisa, we talked about the long layoff. The players were off. Now, they could hold captain's practices, stuff like that, and I'm not sure how much of that happened. And but they came back and they practiced on December 30th. Coach said we had a good practice, another good practice, another good practice. He didn't use the term dud, but that's a term I'll use. And then I was at yesterday's practice, and they looked good. And so, we were wondering, and as you would, December 20th is a long time ago, 10, 11, I'm doing the math real quick in my head, about 14 days ago, and you're playing a team that played less than 48 hours ago, which could also be an advantage to you that they played so recently. But Wilmington has come out as if they hadn't been off for the last 2 weeks, which is what it's been.
And that's been important. That's been a key to the game. And, nine kids have played?
Yep.
So, yeah, this half is about knocking the rust off. So you just want to stay in close contact with them.
So under 3 minutes, Wilmington has scrapped their way back to within 2. And what you would hope if you're Wilmington, obviously, and there's going to be a second quick travel, quick foot there by Mallory.
He takes a step before he puts the ball down, and that's the pressure coming out of it.
And so if you're Wilmington, at the very least, you want to be trailing by 2 going into halftime.
At the very least.
Yep.
I'd like to see a 6-7 point lead, but at the very least.
And so would they, and so would I.
I imagine.
I'm going worst case scenario. Perkins gets stripped.
I don't know where he's going with it there.
Up to Poulin, into Mallory, and a nice look underneath to Wiggin.
Nice break.
That's like a drill with no defense right there.
Nice break.
That you see.
And you got to be unselfish to do that.
Yep. Yeah, because any one of those 3 could have taken the shot, and nobody could have argued.
And it would have been contested. Instead, they got an uncontested layup.
Pump fake, and then driving in is Perez.
Bounce pass there.
Dishes it underneath.
You got to go high above the rim where he's going to go up and get it, or you got to go under the defense. Going through it, he can't see it. There's not enough time for him to see it.
Chris Clancy checks in. Again, if you're just joining us, he's spent the entire first half of the season until the Virginia Union game on the injured reserve. So He's back in. He was 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 8 from three-point. He is a deadly three-point shooter when he gets hot. Mallory's going to fire from 3, and that is good. So Mallory, after getting caught on the travel, comes back down the next time and drills the 3.
Yeah, I'd close out hard. I'd keep closing out hard on him.
So it's been a 5-0 run since that timeout by the College of Staten Island. .12 on the shot clock. Nice look underneath the Hawkins. Mallory picks him up, gets poked away there. There's that pulling we're talking about, always with his hand on the ball. He created.
It's hustle.
Yep.
It's hustle.
It's going to be a jump ball.
So look at the impact he has on the game without even scoring points.
And he won't get credit for that as a steal or a turnover, but he created, and it really ended up not being a turnover, but it created the jump ball situation, which now sends the arrow the other direction.
4 seconds of the shot clock. Still Wilmington ball. And 4 seconds of the shot clock.
Perkins will inbounds. Horsey has entered the game, so you've got 2 3-point shooters. Or did he come in for Perez? He came in for Perez, so you just have one.
Perez, yeah.
So Horsey is the 3-point shooter. Nice look underneath. And that.
Oh, they weren't going to give him a shot anyway. But great back cut. Again, great pass by Perkins, but a great cut by Cradle.
Chris Clancy picks up his second foul. And it wasn't a shooting foul, but it's a 2-point situation anyway.
They called him on the floor.
But because CSI has more than 10 fouls,
he's going to shoot 2.
Cradle will shoot 2. He's a 74% free throw shooter. Again, played down at Smyrna High School, then went to Chesapeake Community College and Holy Family before wrapping up his career here. Makes the first.
The gym went completely silent, so that makes that shot a little harder.
And don't forget, as soon as the buzzer sounds, don't head to the lavatory or wherever you go at halftime. If you're home watching, we're going to have Coach Dan Burke with us to get his thoughts on the first half of the game, something new we're doing. Got a stoppage in play here. And Cradle's got something on his neck.
Blood too?
They're pointing to his neck, something. Doesn't have jewelry or anything like that on. He's heading over to the trainer, and again, he gets about 30 seconds to
he's the shooter, too.
Fix this, yeah. And so if he can't come back, Coach Dan Burke will get to pick who he wants to come in and take this shot. I would assume you would send Perez in.
It looks like they just put a patch on. But then Waller must have the blood on his uniform.
And so Cradle is going to head to the free throw line. Perez is going to check in, take this opportunity to check in. And he's going to come in for Waller. So now you've got the 2 sharpshooters for Wilmington, Perez and Horsey, in the game. Cradle getting ready to take his second, try to pull the Wildcats to within 5. Rattles around and in. 1:11 to play here in the first half.
Oh, Perkins almost got him.
Goldstein fires from 3. Bottom of the net for Goldstein.
That's a big shot.
That's his third 3. He's 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, as I mentioned, coming off a 7 3-point performance for Virginia Union. Decent crowd here today, considering it's a weekend and the students are not back from Wilmington University. Perkins' pass gets knocked out of bounds by Ziris. It'll stay Wilmington ball, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Goldstein is definitely bringing the energy for Staten Island right now. He had a big 3 and then really got him pumped up on that defensive set.
Cradle will inbound, gets it into Perkins.
Plenty of time here.
10 on the shot clock.
He missed.
Perkins hits Cradle, misses badly. Struggles with the rebound. Mallory comes away with it to Clancy. Goldstein's got it. Shot clock is off. And Coach T.J. Tibbs in his 8th season is calling out a play, and he wants 1 shot.
Yeah, they're clearing out one side. Do you see that?
Goldstein against Perkins. Goldstein has a height advantage. Fall away jumper from 3 is no good, but coming in for the rebound and picking up the foul is Joey Poulin. the man who gets his hands on more stuff.
That hurts.
And so,
yeah, they cleared out the side. Perez stayed in to help defense. I'm surprised at the shot, but you can't give up that weak side rebound. You can't give it up.
When somebody takes a fall-away jumper like that, as you know, Lisa, coaching and playing, people tend to fall asleep because they know time's running out, and they figured that's the only way this game the clock was not going to run out on that.
Yep, and that's the hustle, man.
Yep, and he makes the first because even if
he's going to steal 2 points,
even if he gets the offensive rebound and comes down, the buzzer sounds and it's halftime.
Yep.
So the only way this was going to happen is if somebody gets loose and tips it in.
He was honestly the only one that crashed.
Yep.
You got to make sure you have a box out there.
1.1 seconds left. He makes the second. Wilmington will get a chance to heave. Actually, they're going to bring a sub in. That's going to bring Mitchell Wiggin. That actually works to Wilmington advantage.
Well, no, I think it works to Staten Island.
Yeah, they can.
Now they can set up and match up.
Yeah,
yep.
I was thinking Wilmington could set up, which is true, and Perkins is going to throw it the length of the floor, and that's going to bring us to the half. Lisa, the mic is yours.
What I'm seeing is
I'm in those 29 games, and as I mentioned before, he was the one who was taking all of those shots, and he took 201 shots last year, 146 of them from beyond the arc. So Wilmington starting out on defense here, and it's going to be Chestnut in with Ziris and Goldstein. Goldstein got hot, and they're going to call a foul there. See if that's on Perkins. I believe it is going to be on Perkins, and that'll be his first.
Good foul. He got beat back to word. That was going to be an uncontested layup. So, first foul, go ahead and commit it.
Poulin is also in. He was one of the starters, and Mallory. So, basically, the starting lineup is in for the College of Staten Island, and Mallory starts out how he would hope, and Coach Dan Burke would hope not, by drilling the three.
Yeah, that's something I didn't see on the tape. That
Bowers,
he was that effective from three-point range.
Bowers, Waller, Perkins, Hawkins, and Perez, the starting lineup, and the starting lineup for the second half. Nice drive inside. They're going to pick up a foul. And so Bowers finds his way to the rim, and that foul is going to be on Joey Poulin. It's going to be his third. And
that's
so
big foul.
Coach T.J. Tibbs jumps up and looks like Clancy's limping back to the locker room, or no, limping to where I don't know what's happening. He's maybe warming himself up. I don't know. We'll see. Bowers from three, the lefty, no good, and coming down with the rebound is Goldstein, his fifth rebound of the night, the 6-foot sophomore from Staten Island. I like Goldstein game. I saw a couple of their games prepping for this. As Mallory drills another three, and Coach Dan Burke jumps up. And he's talking to Hawkins as he comes to the bench as if to say, we know he shoots from three.
You have to put your hand up. Again, the hard closeout in the first half, there were a couple of them, and when Mallory tried to put the ball on the floor, he traveled. So you want him to put the ball on the floor. He can't stand there and shoot uncontested threes. Put your hand up when you close out, and close out hard.
And so a timeout for Wilmington University. It's a 30-second timeout, so it's almost over already. But here to start the second half, 2 3-pointers by Mallory, and all of a sudden the Dolphins have all the momentum to start out.
What I've seen from Hawkins, he's a competitor. He's going to shut that down.
Hawkins at 6'7", Mallory also at 6'7". Hawkins just a sophomore. Excuse me, Hawkins a freshman, not a sophomore. His first year playing NCAA basketball. Mallory.
Yeah, he plays like a junior.
Mallory, a senior, and a 2-time first-team all-conference selection, so one of the better players in the conference. Hawkins has him, drives in, goes up strong, gets batted away by Mallory. Mallory, a defensive player of the week for the conference a couple weeks ago, so he can do it on both ends of the court. Mallory's going to fire again. This one's short and coming down with the rebound.
You see the difference, hand up, in his face, contested shot.
And Bowers comes down with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Waller, and it gets smacked out of bounds by Mallory.
Yeah, it's good help defense from Mallory. Good drive, but when you see that help defender, give that right to Hawkins for him to dunk it.
Perkins, the 5'7" freshman from Dover, will inbound. Led his Senators to their first ever state championship last year. And that's going to be a 5-second violation.
Yeah, Perez and Hawkins ran into each other. There was just nobody to give the ball to.
And Coach Dan Burke is taking a timeout. This one's going to be full. We'll take it with him. All the momentum with the College of Staten Island. They lead Wilmington 52-36, but it's early in the second half.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Wilmington University takes 2 timeouts within 38 seconds to try to stop the momentum here. They come out in a full court press. College of Staten Island gets it across without any problems. J.J. Chestnut being guarded there by Perez. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan early in the second half, but it's been all College of Staten Island as Mallory has drilled 2 3-pointers. Missed the third. Goldstein's going to try, and he knocks down his 5th three-pointer of the night. His 4th three-pointer, his 5th basket. And Isaiah Cradle jumps off the bench along with Horsey to check into the game. Nice move by Hawkins inside, puts it up, misses it. Goldstein and Hawkins battle. They're going to say it went off Hawkins. He thought otherwise, but it's going to be Dolphins ball. Cradle comes in, Horsey comes in. Bowers is going to have a seat, and Waller is going to have a seat as well.
Yeah, we just didn't see Staten Island shoot like this.
No. They come in shooting 39% from the field, 29% from 3. Average 71 points a game. They're going to most likely get to that number, win or lose.
Yeah, they're 54% from three-point range right now. That's a significant jump from 27 to 54.
And that's without their best three-point shooter scoring,
yeah.
Clancy. Ball knocked out there by Cradle.
Cradle brings them a little energy right now. They just need a little energy on defense. Scrappiness, fight for every possession.
Ziris will inbounds. He gets it into Chestnut. Chestnut guarded there by Horsey.
Oh, I thought Horsey had him.
Chestnut drives in and scores with the left, so no help there once he got past the defender.
I don't think Burke liked that uncontested
No, he goes
layup.
right to the bench to get 2 other guys out here.
Like somebody's going to have to give a hard foul rather than give up layups. And not an N1.
Mallory with it. Gives off to Ziris. He drives to the hoop, dishes over there to Chestnut. He had a wide open jumper, chose not to take it. Goldstein's going to drive in. He'll take the fallaway jumper. That's a near air ball. And Hawkins has it stripped from behind and then fouls Mallory. So that was as much a frustration foul as anything. But as you said, you can't give up the layup. And if you're going to foul him, make sure they don't make it an N1.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given him a layup there. I don't care if I had 8 fouls. I wouldn't have given up the layup there.
The problem is that is Hawkins' 3rd foul at the 16:42 mark. And that is something they were trying to avoid, is him getting in foul trouble.
I think it's something we talked about in pregame. You have to play defense as a team, and they're not playing defense as a team. They're not rotating as one. So they're either giving up layups or they're giving up easy offensive rebounds. And that started at the end of the first half.
Dorian Johnson's going to come in, and Jihad Simpson's going to come in. And Perez and Hawkins will have a seat. And one of the things we talked about, Lisa, in the first half, Perez only took 3 shots, and they were early.
Yeah.
They were early. I don't have the official time there. And that should be a lane violation against the College of Staten Island. Not sure why that was not called.
I don't think they're calling that. I saw that in the first half, too. I don't think they called it.
They,
That's like the NBA. You can step out whenever you want.
So we'll see if Simpson can get things rolling here. Three-pointer, no good off the back of the rim, but that was a good shot for him. Only played just under 3 minutes in the first half. Lob inside, and Simpson does a nice job coming down with that one.
Find your shooter. There you go.
You get it over to Horsey. He fires from three, and that
there
is good.
There you go. That's what they needed to get him started. Good setup by Perkins. Simpson with the steal, gave it right to his point guard, let him run the break, fill the lane.
Horsey now 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Has one in the first half, one in the second half. Near steal there by Horsey. Chestnut sets it up.
Wilmington doesn't have to be crazy gambling. Just play good team defense. There's still plenty of time. But you can't give up layups or wide open threes.
And there's Chestnut in, and he throws it up with the left hand, and it's a prayer that goes in. And TJ Gibbs is going to take that opportunity to take a timeout as his club has built a 61-39 lead. You're listening to the Wilmington University men's basketball broadcast on the CACC network.
Impact with the Wilmington University education. Build skills in high-demand fields like business, cybersecurity, fintech, healthcare, and education, in person and online. Earn a legal degree from the Wilmington University School of Law, whose innovative curriculum emphasizes bar exam success. Connect with fellow Wildcats through events and clubs, esports, and championship athletics. Unlock your potential and make an impact with WilmU. Visit us at wilmu.edu.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
A 15-3 run coming out of the locker room for the College of Staten Island has given them a 61-39 lead. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here in the first game of 2025 for Wilmington University. Staten Island played their first game 2 days ago against Virginia Union College. It was the first matchup between those two schools, and it was a loss for the Dolphins. So they're on a 3-game losing streak. Wilmington on a 2-game losing streak coming into today's contest. Three-pointer by Johnson. Not sure that hit the rim. Either way, it's going to be College of Staten Island ball.
I don't know why Simpson didn't try a drop step there or an up and under, or at least attempt a shot there.
Wilmington comes out of the timeout called by Staten Island with a full court press trying to trap there. Ziris is going to fire from NBA range, and that is good. So Ziris, an 82% shooter. No, excuse me, 37. 82 would be out of this world. That's his free throw percentage.
Yeah.
Averages 8 points a game, so only has 3 today, but that could end up being a big three. Ziris with a rebound there. And that's the thing with Ziris and Poulin. They don't score a lot, but they do a lot of little things. And Goldstein does a lot of big things for him, the 5th three of the day.
They do not shoot like this. At least that I thought.
Well, overall in the season, but if you look at their last game, Goldstein, as I mentioned, 7 of 14 from 3. So he's doing what he did. So it's no secret that he can shoot the threes, 5 of 9. That's going to be Mallory's first foul, and that is going to send Cradle to the free throw line. It's been there one other time. It was a perfect 2 for 2 in the first half. Smyrna High graduate.
See all the arms up again?
Yeah.
Just never seen that since elementary, middle school. It's something you should be doing.
Isn't that a way to catch your breath, too, when you put your arms up? Isn't that?
Is.
I was going to say, I thought I remembered learning that.
And maybe that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they only do it on the first one, so maybe that's what they're doing.
And the second one is good, so that ends a drought for Wilmington, as they've been outscored 19-5 here in the second half. Wiggin is checked into the game. They work it around, gets it to Laddie, who is also checked in. He's going to get fouled by Perkins, so he'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Perkins' second foul. Perez is going to check in for somebody. Laddie, a 79% free throw shooter.
Well, you need to get hot. They need to get hot from the 3.
Again, the last 2 times these teams met was back in 2022. Wilmington winning when Justin Thomas nailed a long 2-pointer with 4.7 seconds left. I remember watching that game on TV from home. It was a big win for Wilmington. And Laddie hits the second. Big possession here for Wilmington. Johnson with it, being covered by Laddie. Nice look inside, but there's Ziris getting his hands on the ball again.
They're playing really good. Staten Island's playing really good team
And a big
defense.
shot by Wigan, more of a prayer that happened to go in.
They have their rotations down. They help the helper.
Dan Burke trying to find the right combination tonight, or today, I should say. Horsey gets to the basket. Nice move underneath and lays it in. So Jalen Horsey with just the second bucket of this second half for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 2-2-1 full court. Just again trying to control the tempo, trying to get a trap if you can, and a turnover.
Ziris with a nice look outside to get it back inside to Kone. And Ziris is going to fire from 3 and nails it. So everything going in.
Everything's going in
for the Dolphins.
I don't know what they had for breakfast, but
wherever they had it, they should stop and have dinner on the way home.
Yes, they should.
They are shooting 58.3% from beyond the arc.
Get it delivered for the next game.
Hawkins is going to check back in, as is Waller. Johnson and Simpson will have a seat. And it will be Perez inbounding underneath for the Wildcats. I don't think Perez has taken a shot this second half. Horsey with another 3 is good. So Jalen Horsey's 2 for 2 on his last couple of threes. So that's a good sign for Wilmington.
Yeah, their shooters have to get hot. It's not undoable. They just got to get a defensive effort.
He now leads Wilmington with 13 points, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 4 of 8 from the field. Oh, and that's going to be a good break for Wilmington.
That helps.
The ball goes off the hands of Sean Hargrave, who has checked in. See the Wilmington University cheerleaders. We wish them the best of luck in 2 weeks when they head to Disney to compete in the national competition. They've done pretty well up there, or down there, I should say, with, I believe, 8 out of 9 national championships or something like that.
And coming off back-to-back, so they're trying back-to-back-to-back.
Waller with the drive and score with the left hand. So number 2 scores on number 2. Waller over Hargrave.
This is where you got to make a difference right here. You have to play defense.
Trying to trap Goldstein, unable to do that. Lottie with it, being covered there by Waller. Lottie tries to use the pick. Pull-up jumper from 15, no good. Great
Nice
rebound by
rebound.
Hawkins. He actually threw it away before he traveled with it.
Well, I thought that was a travel.
And now that's got to be a jump ball if it's not a travel.
They called it a
They're
foul.
going to call a foul? Is that going to be on Horsey?
Yeah, I thought because he flipped over.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he went down and he reached in, but 99% of the time when you see a player reach in, as long as he doesn't jump in, which Horsey did not. I mean, he did it as delicately as you can do it.
I thought it was a travel because I thought he flipped over.
Right.
He started on his stomach and ended up on his back.
Horsey's second foul, Wilmington's 4th. Staten Island has 2 team fouls so far in this half. Goldstein lobs it up. Going up to get it was Kone, unable to come down with it.
Great play by Cradle, broke that up. Find your shooter. There you go.
There he is. Horsey for 3, nails it. So Goldstein not able to defend Horsey, who's hit 3 in a row from beyond the arc.
And that's what you do. In transition, you find the shooter. That's when they'll most likely be open.
Wilmington looking for a defensive stop. Laddie looks well underneath. It's going to stay. Looks like it went off somebody's foot or hands.
I think Cradle got in there, got a piece of it.
It's going to stay.
He's been active. He's giving them a lift here.
Staten Island ball with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Wigan the 6'4" redshirt freshman from Brooklyn, will inbounds. They're going to call foul.
Yeah, just trying to grab him so he doesn't get open in the corner.
Perez picks up his first, team 5th. One thing you want to try to avoid if you're Wilmington is getting into that double bonus. A lob into Kone goes up. Hawkins, that could be his 4th foul if, in fact, it is on him, and it is. So that is not good for Wilmington. And that's going to send Kone to the free throw line, where he's a 62% free throw shooter. Has not attempted a shot today. And Jahad Simpson is set to check in after this first free throw. That is made, and he's going to come in for Hawkins. Hawkins getting some instruction from Coach Dan Burke.
Yeah, I think Hawkins is a little frustrated.
Poulins is going to check in, as is J.J. Chestnut. So 2 of the starters back in. Goldstein, one of the starters, is going to check out, along with Ziris will check out. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan here on the CACC Network. Next broadcast for us is Monday night. Weather pending. 6 o'clock game between Penn State Brandywine and the Wildcats. Both will come into that game. Penn State has 1 win. Wilmington still looking for its first. But, of course, the weather could impact that game. Nice look. Perez might have gotten away with a travel.
Yeah.
But we'll take it.
So it's down to 25. They've knocked some points off it. I think it got as high as 30.
Yep. Nice defense there by Perez. Not sure that's the shot
Huge
T.J.
rebound.
Wells wanted off of that set. Wiggins just 1 of 13.
And again, Cradle, good decision. Find your shooter.
In and out, Perez no good. So Perez scored the first 5 points of the game. Or excuse me. Yes, Perez. And hasn't scored since. Hasn't taken many shots either.
That's a good find by Cradle. Just kind of knocked that one down.
Oh, that's a carry. Didn't call it. And then instead, is that going to be on Simpson? I mean, Cradle?
Yeah, that's
It is going to be on Cradle, yes. Hard to pick him out of the crowd in the lane from the opposite corner of the court here where we sit.
Yeah, he needed somebody to come help or somebody to reach in there and recover, but he was just backing him down off a dribble. There's nothing Cradle could do about it.
Cradle's second foul. Chestnut will head to the free throw line for the first time tonight. A 67% free throw shooter makes the first.
You know, if you have a teammate who can just come over and dig and recover, he might pick up his dribble there.
And he'll get a second. Second shot is good. It's back up to a 25-point lead for the Dolphins, trying to win their sixth game of the season. And Horsey with another 3. Now 4 of 4, and the second time they've had to blow the whistle and fix the net.
Yeah.
That's when you know it was nothing but the bottom of the net, when the bottom of the net wraps around.
This kid can score. He can score.
He's got 19, averages 11.3, which is 25th best in the conference. And he played that way in high school. My son, who plays at Appoquinimink, played against him several times. And Horsey can shoot the lights out.
And again, underrated. He can put the ball on the floor too and score.
Poulin working it around, gets a nice look inside. They're going to call traveling on
That's a good
Asa.
defensive set. That's how you play his team defense.
Asa Kone with the travel. Nice look in there by Poulin.
Yeah, Horsey got screened. I forget who came over to help him, but helped him just enough to force that extra pass and a travel.
Horsey gets double team, rolls into the lane, puts one up and misses.
So this kid can score. He can score.
Foul's going on Joey Poulin. That's Poulin's 4th, so he's going to have to come out. Mallory comes in, Goldstein comes in, and Ziris comes in. Poulin will head out, Kone will head out, and Laddie will head out. Cradle will inbounds, finds Perez underneath, makes a nice move, gets the defense up in the air, and they're going to call foul I didn't see it, and it was right in front of us, but the ref saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's going to be against Goldstein, which is his second. Foul was on the ground. 5th foul for the CSI. Perez has taken just 5 shots so far today. Cradle gets stopped. Turnaround jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Not a horrible shot. There was 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and that might be about as good as they were going to get at that point.
Yeah. If he didn't swing the ball right away, he was forced to take that.
And he did look to swing first. Goldstein, pull-up jumper is good. So not a 3, but another 2. Goldstein now 7 of 13 with 19 points on the day. Fall-away jumper there by Simpson. Got fouled on the play. He'll head to the free throw line. And that foul is going to be on J.J. Chestnut. His first. 6 fouls for College of Staten Island. Wilmington already at the 7 foul mark. And Simpson will head to the free throw line where he is an 80% free throw shooter. Makes the first.
And he has nice rotation. Good for him.
He's now 1 of 1 this year. Transfer from Clarion. 6'9", listed as a freshman. So the full court press here. Wilmington trails by 23. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. First game of 2025 for us, for Wilmington. Second game for College of Staten Island coming off that loss up at Virginia Union. Both these teams beat DUville by 20-ish points, and they both lost to Pace by 30-ish. So given that stat, you might have thought it would have been a little bit more even than it is, but as we've talked about, they're shooting the lights out on this away gym, and they're 1-5 in away gyms, so another stat that favored Wilmington coming in. Mallory, another 3 is good. So Mallory with his 5th three-pointer. Goldstein's got 5 three-pointers, and Ziris has 3. Hard to beat a team when they're shooting what CSI is shooting from 3. That's going to be a foul. CSI is shooting 57% from three-point line compared to 39 for Wilmington. So that's a big difference.
And it's not like they've only taken 4 or 5 of them. They've taken 28, 16 of 28.
Yeah. Foul's on Wiggin. He's going to head to the bench. Checking in for him is going to be Leighton Woods, a 6'2 freshman from Queens, making his first appearance. He didn't play against Virginia Union, I don't believe.
I think with WilmU, 83 points is a lot to give up. And I get they're shooting the lights out, but it's the second and third rotation on defense that's hurting them. They help the helper, but they help, but then nobody helps the helper, or they don't continue to rotate through the defensive set. And they're giving up open shots or, unfortunately, layups.
Second shot is good.
Like Staten Island shooting the lights out, but they're open. They're not taking bad shots.
Bowers is going to check in. Wilmington's giving up 83 points a game, so they're exactly at that average.
Yeah, that's too many points.
And it's going to be a lot more before it's over, or at least more, I should say, a lot more than their average. Horsey misses his first three-pointer of the second half, so he's now 4 out of his last 5.
Thanks, shot clock.
Yeah, shot clock should have reset. Ball definitely hit the rim.
It's not really offense that WilmU's having issues with, that I've seen this season. They don't play their traditional defense. Like the traditional man-to-man, I'm going to help the helper and rotate, and you're going to think there's 10 players on the court instead of 5.
Horsey drives, thought he might dish it out, doesn't. Great rebound inside by Simpson and scores.
That's a hustle rebound putback. Simpson hasn't quit.
Simpson's the tallest guy in the gym at 6'9". And he looked like it
but
there.
He's not taller than Mallory.
Listed taller. And I forgot we have the 7-footer Fidel Mapanzo who's in the gym also. I haven't seen him on the floor, and I wonder if we might before it's over to see if he can get a hand in somebody's face inside. Basket's good, and a full timeout is taken. We'll take it with him.
Maybe he is bigger than Mallory, too.
Yeah, I think he looks a couple inches.
Yeah, he does.
You're listening to the Wilmington University men's basketball broadcast on the CACC network. CSI with an 85-61 lead.
Many of us dared to dream of becoming college graduates while learning to navigate this thing called life.
Students from all walks of life find their higher education home at Wilmington University.
We enrolled at a university whose faculty and staff believed in who we could be, and we believed too.
At WilmU, we celebrate academic achievement as one, because together we thrive. Find your higher education home at Wilmington University.
John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan, CSI, College of Staten Island 85, Wilmington 61 coming out of the timeouts. It'll be Wilmington ball. Story of this game is shooting, as CSI is shooting 20% higher, both from the field overall and from three-point range. And as Lisa pointed out, it's not like they've taken just a couple three-pointers. They've taken 28 and made 16 of them. They come in averaging 30%. Actually 29 as a big shot there by Simpsons. That's 2 shots for him in the last couple of trips down the field. CSI comes in shooting 29% from 3, so not a sharp shooting team, but boy, maybe they'll try to get their home games changed here to Newark, Delaware. Goldstein covered by Perkins. Goldstein's cooled off a little bit, but it's more because he hasn't gotten the shots, not because he's missing them. Near turnover there, and a nice job running that down. They're going to call traveling, I was going to say.
Yeah, he fell with the ball.
Yeah. And so Leighton Woods travels with the ball. He's only played in 7 games, Woods has, averaging 3.7 minutes.
Shooter, he missed him.
And they're going to call foul on that one. I believe that's going to be on Leighton Woods. It is. Team's 8th. Bowers will go and shoot the 1-and-1. Laddie checks in for J.J. Chestnut for the Dolphins. Bowers misses it. Laddie comes down with it, heads the other way, dishes it off to Woods. Mallory misses, and there's going to be a foul underneath. And I think that's going to be on Woods.
Yeah, I think Waller's going to go shoot.
Woods is getting his money worth on the floor. A couple fouls. Waller will head to the free throw line, a 61% free throw shooter. Hasn't shot one here tonight. See if he can get this lead under 20. 5:35 to play. John Busby along with Lisa Sullivan. Our first game of 2025. First shot is good. Don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll have Coach Dan Burke join us to talk a little bit about the second half. Hasn't gone quite as well as the first half. Now, they trailed by 10 in the first half, but if you watch both halves, you would say Wilmington played a lot better in the first half than they did in the second half. And CSI has played about the same. They continue to shoot lights out. Most of the other stats are relatively even, except the shooting percentage. Cross-court pass. Jumper is no good, and coming down with it is Waller. Nice look underneath. Oh, that's a foul. That's going to be on the floor, but it's going to be CSI's 10th foul, so it's going to be 2 shots either way.
Yeah, good. Waller, good find. Bowers, great cut.
It's going to be Woods' 3rd foul. That's going to send Bowers to the free throw line, a 72% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 tonight. Cut into this lead, a couple points at a time. Checking in is going to be Joey Poulin, the 6'3" freshman from Troy, New York. He's going to come in for Woods. Second shot is good for the lefty. Full court press for Wilmington. Burning some shot clock here, the Dolphins are.
Yeah, no hurry. They don't need to be.
No. Laddie finds Poulin for 3. No good. Bowers with the rebound for the Wildcats. I don't think Perkins has taken a shot till right there in the second half. That jumper's no good. And is that going to be a foul on
I think they got Bowers.
Bowers, yeah. And somebody's going to be heading to the free throw line. It's either going to be Poulin or Laddie.
Laddie.
Perkins now 1 of 8 from the field. Perez 2 of 6. Jalen Horsey, the only one shooting over 50%, 6 of 12. Laddie will head to the free throw line where he's 2 of 2 on the night, now 3 of 3. 79% free throw shooter. I always set the mark at 80%. If you're 80 and above, you're an excellent free throw shooter. If you've shot a decent amount of free throws, that's not 8 for 10. That's 16 for 20.
Right.
Laddie now 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Lead at 19. Horsey drives in, a little Euro step, but we're not in Europe, and they're not going to count it. Traveling violation. You know, to CSI's credit, Lisa, they've pretty much shut down Perez, who started out the game hitting a 3 and getting a shot inside.
He didn't shoot a lot. You know, he needs to start hunting shots. He's just not taking a lot of shots.
Right.
For as good a shooter as he is, he needs to shoot more.
And part of that might be trying to figure out either how he can find himself more shots.
Yeah, he might be at the point, though, I'll take a bad shot over a no shot at this point.
Right.
You know, I don't know what he's averaging a game, but I can't imagine it's 10.
And that's going to be, I was going to say, it looked like it went off Ziris' foot. Ziris is arguing that it did not. There's no instant replay here, so it's going to stay Wilmington ball. Talking about Perez, he checks back in. He's going to take the place of Bowers, who will head to the bench with 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Like with Horsey and Perez, there's 2 elite shooters on the court. It should spread it out. Like anytime you get help, pick the ball up and kick it to a shooter.
Waller dribbled into a trap, Poulin and Ziris. Ziris came away with it.
That's the help I'm talking about. When you feel 2 people on you, then a shooter is open. Find him.
Foul's going to be on Perkins. That'll set up a one-on-one situation for Laddie. He's not the guy you want to foul. He's 4 of 4 from the free throw line today, 79%, probably at that 80% mark now. Wiggin is going to check in along with Kone.
I imagine that's the last we see of Mallory. He had a great game.
Mallory and Goldstein.
I thought he would be a key coming in, and he definitely was. And Goldstein had a great game, too.
Laddie now 5 of 5. Mallory goes to the bench. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists 8 of 15 from the floor, 5 of 9 from the 3. Goldstein also 5 of 9 from 3. He can finish with 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So
that's probably the most surprising stat. Those two were 10 of 18 from 3.
Yep.
Surprising. Nice backdoor.
Horsey with a much easier shot than he usually takes it, makes it nonetheless.
Well, you figure they have to be up on him because his ability to shoot. So, yeah.
And the help
that's
wasn't
an easy
there.
backdoor, yep.
Wilmington's got 4 guys averaging double figures. Only Horsey is in double figures right now. Laddie's three-pointer no good. Perkins sprints the other way. Goes in among the trees, throws it up, hoping he gets fouled, and he does get fouled. And that foul is going to be on Kone. I believe that's his 4th. It is. Perkins will head to the free throw line, where he is a 64% free throw shooter.
I think Wilmington captains are going to have to sit down with the team and talk about where they want the rest of this season going, because now they're in conference play, so that's what matters. And if you want to make the playoffs, but your conversation has to be about team defense. How can we play better team defense?
And they're going to have a week to talk about it because they don't play again until Saturday up at Bridgeport. And then they'll be back here playing Thomas Jefferson. So
and that's the only way you're going to fix it, is to get in the gym at practice, and everybody 1 through 16 has to say, I'm going to be a better defender, like individually and as a team.
Ziris about to get double teamed, gets around it, whips it over to Laddie, who fires from 3, and that's good.
That's an example of what I'm talking about. Perkins saw that Perez is coming to double, and he lets him spin out of it and go away from Perez. You can't let him. You got to take that sideline away.
Ball knocked away inside, tried to get it into Simpson, and that's going to be Poulin slamming it, much to the delight of his teammates
and the coaches. I get it.
Perkins floats in, misses the left-handed layup. Kone with a rebound. And the College of Staten Island will take their time. And this is going to be a substitution timeout taken by CSI, as Hargrave is going to check into the game. Laddie is going to head out along with Poulin.
So this means everyone will have played.
Leighton Woods is back in. So it's Ziris, Woods, Kone. Wiggin is still in. And do they have 5? Yeah, down on the other end, Hargrave. For Wilmington, Jalen Sample is in. Jordan Moore is in. Maponzo is in. Dorian Johnson is in. And Amaldo Rodriguez is in. So for Wilmington, you've got 5 guys who don't see much floor time. They'll get a minute 30 here to try to get in the scoreboard. A tie up underneath.
You got 2 people on the floor for that.
Ziris was on the floor. And it looked like Jordan Moore was on the floor as well. Don't forget again, at the conclusion of the game, Coach Dan Burke will join us to talk about why things went the way they did in the second half especially. It was a 10-point lead at the half, but anybody would tell you the game was closer than that 10 points. But the 22-point lead they have right now feels like a 22-point lead, and that foul is going to be against Maponzo.
Hey, great crash, though. I like to see the out effort.
Yep. And so we've seen 2 scrappy efforts on both ends. One tying them up on one side and diving after a ball, all 7 feet of them on the other side, right in front of us here. That'll send Wiggin to the free throw line. Hasn't shot one here yet.
I see some frustration over there on the Wilmington bench. And again, your season is just beginning. You're just getting into conference play. The playoffs are still there. Everything you want is still there.
And I was
reading, just have to decide to play defense.
And listening to the other broadcasts, it's one thing that at this time of year everybody's emphasizing. All that matters is the conference season, because that's what gets you into the conference tournament, which gets you into the NCAAs.
Yep. So this is it's not time to hang your head.
It's not the end of the world.
Yep. You can't hang your head.
Nope.
You just the effort and the emphasis has to be on defense.
And Ziris lobs it up, and Kone slams it down. Three-pointer there by Dorian Johnson, the 6'4 sophomore from North Carolina. And I was going to say it'd be fitting to end on an alley-oop dunk, but it really isn't. It'd be more fitting to end with a three-pointer because that's been the difference in this game.
Yeah. Well, you just has to find the dog in them. They just have to find their dog. Go play.
CSI trying to set some people up who don't normally score, and that's going to allow Leighton Woods to head to the free throw line.
I know Perkins is just a freshman, but he has that dog in him, so he needs to show it to everybody else. Bring everybody with him.
Dorian Johnson picks up his first foul. Leighton Woods trying to pick up his first point of the game. Perfect rotation, and does. This is for the century mark, something that no team wants to see happen to them.
It shouldn't happen. There's too much basketball skill, energy, athleticism, everything.
And so for now, it's not going to happen. Wilmington trying to get one more basket up as the clock is going down. And that's going to count if it goes in, but it does not. And that is going to be your final. The College of Staten Island 99, Wilmington University 75. Some quick stats. Messiah Mallory led all scorers with 26 points, added 7 rebounds, 19